Good morning everybody and welcome back. Today I thought it was about time that I replayed one of my favorite games from my childhood so I could see if it was still any good, and all I can say is that oh my god, I was not disappointed. Come on Uther, stop being such a square, no one's died from a little jealous. Okay, I'm not actually sure if you're allowed to say that literally 5 seconds into the video, so let me tell you what's going on. Warcraft 3 is a real-time strategy game from 2002 and I have had an absolute blast playing it for the last couple of days. Give me my Grom back, you rat bastards! Like most RTS games, the objective of the game is usually to gather resources, build up a base and recruit an army to beat the ever-living shit out of the other guy before they do the same to you. Oh fuck. I say usually because Warcraft 3 isn't your standard RTS. This is more of an RP RTS. Because not every mission is a build-a-base mission. Some will take you into dungeons where you free ancient war criminals to aid in your struggle against insurmountable odds. Ah yes, let us free the arch-traitor in the hopes that he hates the enemy more than the people and put him in jail for, I don't know, about 10,000 years. Others will have you escorting geriatric old men and their pet lizards to the local retirement home. Karen, I don't want to rush you or anything, but maybe could you, I don't know, fucking move? What sets this game apart from all of the others is the amazing story and the heroes.
This is
oh fuck, is it a war crime to shoot balls of literal death into the backs of peasants? Because it is criminal how much fun I'm having right now. Heroes are like your regular units but on turbo crack, and like an RPG they get XP for killing things. And when they have killed enough things, they get to level up and get access to cool new abilities, like Bless. If you think that I'm gonna let you die so you don't have to fight the roided out green gym bros, you are sorely mistaken, my guy. Or Shane Lightning, who let the Greek mythology nerds out of the fucking basement. Come on guys. Or my personal favorite in the entire game, the T-pose of death. None who live can stand against the T-pose of death. On top of being stronger than regular units and having cool abilities, they also have been blessed with the awesome power of the pocket. In these pockets you can store up to 6 magical artifacts and consumables, like orbs of fire that gives your attacks magical fire splash damage, or voodoo totems that heal everyone in a wide radius around them.
I got a zombie army and you can't harm me. Yeah, hoodoo, you hoodoo, bitch.
If you remember which game that song comes from, I'm gonna be pretty impressed. Okay, so now that we know how, let's get into the why. Our story begins in the human kingdom of Lordaeron, where this guy, the prophet, desperately tries to convince the king that shit is about to go down, and that he has to take his people west to Kalimdor. The problem is that shit is already going down. There is a mysterious plague ravaging the countryside to the north, and the orcs are busy doing whatever it is that orcs do. Slats, woo! The king, having a pretty good thing going on here, being the king and all, decided to ignore the weird bird prophet and instead choose to attempt to fix the problems plaguing his kingdom by sending his only son Arthas to take care of him. And to make sure that he doesn't fuck things up too badly, he also sends Uther the Lightbringer, who might just be the paladiniest paladin to have ever paladined. Or paladined, I guess.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do.
You know what, Uther, if I didn't think you were a really swell guy, I would totally punch you in the liver right now, just so you fucking know. Mission number 1. Okay, so the scouts have confirmed that the orcs are going to attack the local town at any moment. Now, since the town is completely defenseless, we're in somewhat of a hurry, as you might imagine. Which is why it probably wasn't the best idea to give me the job defending it. Yeah! Oh, that brings me back. But don't worry, we don't just spend our time exploding livestock, we also save little Timmy from human traffickers and kill the bandit king. You know, things you're expected to do when you're the prince and a paladin training. When we do eventually make it to town, however, it might be a little bit on fire and its people being turned into mush by a big red orc on a horse. But hey, at least little Timmy's safe. Oh, fuck, they got little Timmy as well. No! Okay, we might have fucked up just a little bit, but we do try to salvage the situation by organizing a rescue operation in order to save the townspeople that were taken away by the orcs. Unfortunately, they might have all gotten sacrificed to demons before we were able to get there. Now, some of you might call this a complete and utter failure on my part. I had one job to do and we didn't do it. But what all of you have failed to consider is the fact that my dad is the king, and we did kill all of the orcs and his dragon, so I would say that all in all, I did a pretty great job. With orcs defeated, we are sent north, together with the sorceress Jaina Proudmoore, to find out what the deal is with everyone dying and to tell them to stop, because it is making my dad the king look bad, which is not good. It doesn't take very long before we make a startling discovery that someone has been tampering with the grain supply, and I'm pretty sure that it is not in order to make it stay fresh on the shelf for longer either. I don't wanna throw any shade on the village people, but if the grain kills the very ground it stands on, then maybe you shouldn't ingest it. But what do I know? Having killed a bunch of villagers turned skeletons from eating too much undead grain, we eventually find the guy responsible for all of this. The arch-necromancer and the leader of the cult of the damned, Kel'Thuzad.
Been discovered, my brothers. Flee and continue with the operation.
But before we can capture him and his followers, he makes a daring escape by walking away really goddamn slowly. So in the next mission, we have to hunt his old geriatric ass down. It wasn't very difficult, especially when having powerful magics like gunpowder at our disposal. Fuck you, I cast gun, prepare to meet God, bitch. When we do get our hands on him after busting down his base, we find out that he is nothing more than a lowly lieutenant, doing what he's told, and that the real bad guy is a dreadlord named Mal'Ganis, who is currently in Stratholme putting his cursed grain to good use. Of course, there's always a bigger fish. So we mega kill the necromancer and head out to deal with the source of the problem. On our way to stop the Finnish dreadlord, however, we decide to make a short pit stop for some well-deserved R&R. But unfortunately, we realize that the town has also been eating the cursed grain when suddenly the villagers all turn into horrible undead abominations with a hankering for long pork. You ungrateful bastards! Do you know who I am? Just you wait until I tell my dad. The king. Having purified our ranks, we now have to defend the city from undead hordes for about 30 minutes so our boy Uther can get here and save our asses. But that is not all. We also have to stop a caravan from going around demolishing surrounding villages, killing everyone, and then raising them up as zombie hordes to throw at us. It didn't pose too much of a problem, especially since we had a fountain of healing to keep us topped up. What might have been a problem, however, was the fact that defeating the caravan without too much of a problem might have made me a little bit overconfident, which might have cost me my entire army when I tried to storm one of the undead bases. But hey, we all make mistakes. You live and you learn. Well, they don't because they all fucking died, but hey, Arthur survived, so it's all good. Well, it was a good thing we had all those peasants to die covering our retreat. So we turtle up for the last 14 minutes, fending off attack after attack from the undead horde without too much of a problem. But as the timer is running out, they send in everything they got. And just as I had them where I wanted them, Uther and his paladins arrived to steal my thunder. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't want to sound ungrateful, Uther, but I had them precisely what I wanted them, and you kinda stole my thunder there, buddy. So, having survived the undead hordes, we now have to get to Stratholme to stop Mal'Ganis' nefarious plans before things get out of hand.
This entire city must be purged.
Okay, things, they might have officially gotten out of hand. It turns out that the entire city has been infected by the grain, and now the race was on to see who could kill 100 townspeople first. Uther and Jaina wasn't very happy about the whole situation, but I didn't hear any of them come with any bright ideas. Oh, I see how it is. Arthur, you can't just purge an entire city, it's so bad. There must be another way. Yeah, well, I don't fucking hear you coming with any ideas, so how about you shut the fuck up and let me do what I'm supposed to do. And what a job we did. I completely demolished his ass. It wasn't even a contest. Oh, what is this, fucking amateur hour? Come on. One could think this is your first purge, Mal'Ganis. Oh, come on, man. Do you really think you can stand a chance against moi? Oh, don't feel bad, man. I'm sure you did your best. You just can't go toe-to-toe with the master and actually think you stand a chance. So, having spanked his ass, he tells us to meet him in Northrend for a final showdown before teleporting out like the sore loser he is.
I'll hunt you to the ends of the earth if I have to. Do you hear me? to the ends of the earth!
Welcome to Northrend, home of giant-ass spiders, the abominable snowman, and the legions of the damned. Not really what you would call a holiday destination, but we have a job to do, so I guess it doesn't matter. Having unloaded the boys, pestered the locals for a bit, and looked for a suitable location for a base, we run into Merdin Bronzebeard, my boy. By which I mean that he shot one of my guys in the face. Not the best start ever, but I can't say I blame him. Anyway, Merdin has been stranded up here fighting the undead for God knows how long, while looking for some sort of magical sword named Frostmourne. He doesn't tell us why he's been looking for the sword, but I have my suspicions. Why do I hear drums in the deep? What the fuck? So we team up and try to draw out Mal'Ganis by destroying 2 of his bases using a very balanced composition of units. I don't know if having 90% of your army as range units is a good thing, but it sure as hell feels good. Having dealt with the undead, there was still no sign of the coward Mal'Ganis. So we set up a more permanent base and continued our search further inland. This is where things start to get out of hand. While Arthas was out on an errand, an emissary from my dad, the king, commands all of our troops to pack up their stuff and head for home. Oh, Uther, you piece of shit. I can't believe you convinced my dad, the king, to take away my toys. What the fuck? You purged one little town and suddenly all of your decisions are being questioned by the goddamn staff.
Uther had my troops recalled. Damn it!
That's right, Uther have convinced my dad, the king, to recall all of my troops. But like the genius that I am, I came up with a devious plan to stop the whole situation. You see, the only way home is by the ships we used to get here. But if something were to happen to said ships, like if say someone would pay a bunch of mercenaries to burn them all down, well then I guess we would be forced to stay up here and do whatever I wanted to do all along. Oh no guys, these mercenaries that I have never seen before have burned down all of their ships. Oh, they also stole all my pocket money. Oh, bad mercenaries. Ooh.
Damn beasts!
Oh well guys, I guess we just have to stay up here and do what I wanted instead of going home. At least we tried, so don't worry, I'm sure my dad the king won't be mad.
You lied to your men and betrayed the mercenaries who fought for you.
Now Merdin wasn't thrilled about the plan, but he actively helped me. And if anything, he is actually more to blame than me, because I'm pretty sure that he sunk one of the ships personally.
It's hammer time.
So, having secured our army, Mal'Ganis shows back up again and tells us that we are all going to die. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's what you told all of the townspeople, that you didn't purge Mal'Ganis, you goddamn square. In this mission, we have to defend our base while simultaneously trying to find the magical sword Frostmourne, so we can use its legendary powers to hit Mal'Ganis really fucking hard. Preferably until he dies. But as we finally get to the sword, it turns out that it is very cursed. So Merdin's like, fuck that shit, let's get out of here before we all fucking die. But my mother didn't raise no goddamn quitter. Oh, come on, Merdin, no one's ever died from a little curse. It's not like it's gonna take my soul, force me to destroy all the things I have ever loved, and make me into the main antagonist in an expansion pack to a game I have never played before. So relax. I got this. So we take the sword, Merdin slips on some ice and is mysteriously never seen or heard from again, and we go to kick the ever-living shit out of Mal'Ganis. Sweetie swooty Mal'Ganis, I am coming to stick my sword up that booty!
It is finished.
With that done, we walk into the snow, finish the human campaign, and are rewarded with this awesome cutscene which I might be quoting to this day.
What is this? What are you doing, my son?
Succeeding you, father.
Okay, so it turns out that the cursed sword actually kinda did take our soul, and we are now going to destroy everything we have ever loved in the name of the Lich King. But we do get our own expansion pack for our trouble, so it might be worth it. If any of you have actually played Wrath of the Lich King, let me know down below, because I have no goddamn idea. Having put good old Dad the King out to pastures, we now have to deal with another dreadlord named Tychondrius. But this time we are actually on the same side, and technically I think he is above me on the totem pole. So we are told to reassemble the cult of the damned, who after we kill the absolute shit out of Kel'Thuzad has infiltrated the general populace, which is baffling to me considering their rather unfortunate appearance. Hold the fuck on, Tychondrius, what do you mean they have infiltrated the general populace? Have you seen the goddamn cultists? They are ugly as fuck, boy. And it is technically a stealth mission right up to the moment that it isn't. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Oh, now you done fucked up, son. So, with the cult assembled once more, we now have to find the remains of Kel'Thuzad so we can raise him as a power lich. But unfortunately, we didn't leave too much to be buried after we finished him off. So now we have to find a special urn so his remains will survive the trip to the High Elven capital of Quel'Thalas, where we're going to dunk him in their magic fountain, which they probably will not like at all. But we're the undead, so what are you gonna do, fucking kill us? The problem is that the urn might be in the hands of Uther, and he is kinda niffed about the whole killing my dad, the ex-king, and plunging the kingdom into eternal darkness because of my own hubris thing I have going on. And it turns out that the urn contained nothing less than my dad, the ex-king's ashes.
What? Were you hoping to piss on them one last time before you left his kingdom to rot?
Oh, hey, Uther. Funny to see you here, buddy. Say, what are the odds of you handing me that urn? You know, for old time's sake. I'll let you keep Dad. Thanks to my great skills as a negotiator, Uther did eventually agree to hand over the urn. Rattle 'em, boys. After this, things start to get interesting. The ghost of Kel'Thuzad starts whispering in my ear and tells us that the Dreadlords aren't working for the Lich King, they are in fact his jailers. But he isn't going to tell us anything more until he's once again returned to life. Or unlife, I guess. Intrigued, we pack up our shit and head towards the Elven capital, and oh boy, were they not happy to see us.
You are not welcome here.
But I didn't let that stop us from violently breaking in and dunking my boy in their magic super fountain. Do I need to stir it or something? They didn't give me much of a recipe to follow. With Kel'Thuzad reborn as a lich, the Elven homeland in ruin, we are filled in on the whole situation. It turns out that the Lich King, our master, was created by some dude bros calling themselves the Burning Legion, and the Lich King has been sent here to basically pave the way for a gigantic demonic invasion. So now we have to capture a working demon gate in order to call up Archimonde, the big boss of the whole goddamn thing, in order to get some new orders. The problem is that there is about a gazillion orcs standing between us and the gate, which is pretty much, as they say, pretty much fucking less than ideal. But we do now have access to undead bone dragons, who I use to basically blot out the sun. Oh, you really think you can stand in my way? I have 50 gazillion fucking dragons. With the orcs taken care of, we now have to go to the library and check out the last known spellbook of Medivh, the Last Guardian. But it turns out that my library card isn't valid anymore, with the whole being the champion of undead thing we have going on. So we employ our massive powers of persuasion and convince wave after wave of pudges to go into the anti-undead field surrounding the place until they eventually find the book we're looking for, which coincidentally coincided with the moment that everyone was dead. It's strange how things work out sometimes. With the book in hand, we just had to perform a minor satanic ritual to begin the apocalypseception. So I channel my younger self and treat the whole thing like a tower defense game. I am the Hannibal of defending, and I'm not talking about the elephant guy. Give me a minute and I'm good. Give me an hour and I'll probably have lost interest and completely forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Defending yourself from 3 separate bases was challenging, but nothing we couldn't handle. Fuck, we might have been cutting it a little bit close with that one. If I would have lost, that would have been that. This video would be gone. So with the big man himself summoned into the material realm, our work here is pretty much done.
Tremble, mortals, and despair.
And after having seen yet another excellent cutscene of Archimonde demolishing a city using the skills he picked up at finger painting college, we started the 3rd campaign, which happens to be my favorite faction in the entire game, the Orcs. Blasting people with superior firepower or controlling legions of the dead is cool and all, but nothing beats going out raiding with the boys. My life for the Horde! Yeah! It might not be a sound tactical move to base 90% of your army on grunts, but I don't care. We now take on the role of Thrall, an orc chief raised by humans and apparently the only one to take the bird prophet from the beginning of the game seriously. Which is why we aren't in Lordran anymore. We have traveled west across the sea and have just landed on the shores of Kalimdor. Since we have been separated from the rest of the Horde by a huge storm, we now have to track them all down before they do what orcs do best: without me. I mean, if you put things in front of me to smash, I'll goddamn smash it. Eventually, after having introduced ourselves to the locals, we run into Cairn Bloodhoof, the leader of the Torrent, and one of the best characters in the entire game. He may be old, his bones may ache, but there is no substitute for experience. He may be old, but he still knows how to stomp the heads of whippersnappers. Having helped save his village from the Greeks, we offer to become his caravan guards in return for him telling us about some oracle who will tell us about our destiny. Oh, Cairn, you didn't tell me you had such a lovely wife. Having led Cairn and his extended family to safety, we are finally reunited with the rest of the Horde under Grom Hellscream, who is also one of my favorite characters in the entire game. I should probably say that there isn't a single character in this entire game that I hate. And that is saying something, because I get very easily annoyed. Anyway, Grom and the rest of the Horde are doing what we do best, beating the absolute snot out of the Pinkskins, who for some goddamn reason have followed us here. I know that we're supposed to be angry, because we went here to stop fighting the humans, but I just can't stay mad at him. Look at that face. Okay, so now we have a problem. The humans are standing between us and the Oracle. And even though we told Grom not to attack the humans, he does anyway. And frankly, he makes a very compelling case.
The humans must be slaughtered!
Yeah, I can't argue with that logic. You know what? Yeah, fuck the humans. Let's fucking go! So, having spent the last 20 minutes burning down villages, we eventually make it to our goal. The Zeppelin Salesman.
I land in the face of danger!
With our brand spanking new car-smelling Zeppelins, we can now bypass all of the burning rubble that used to be human settlements and make it to the Oracle. But since Grom did technically disobey a direct order from his war chief, he isn't allowed to tag along, and instead we banish him to build up our base. An action which hurt me way more than it hurt him. Oh, let me bring Grom with us. He's my boy, please. Please, Thrall, he didn't mean it. So in the next mission, we gather some wood, and gather some wood, and gather some wood. We do also run into the Night Elves, the fourth faction of the game, but they don't pose too much of a problem. Oh no, the trees are speaking gibberish! Having gathered a hefty 50,000 wood, we finished building our base just in time for the Night Elven demigod Cenarius, who is too much of a problem to come and try to burn it all down.
Let battle be joined.
Oh, I just built that, you disco goat looking ass! It was now very obvious to me that the Night Elves wouldn't respect the fact that we had come in out of nowhere and taken their territory for our own. The problem with fighting a literal demigod, however, is the fact that you are fighting a literal demigod. The boys' spirits were willing, but their flesh was weak. So when we find a weird blood fountain in the middle of the forest guarded by some chaos-corrupted creatures, we naturally decided to give it a taste. After all, what's the worst that could happen? It's not like we're going to get enthralled and forced to help one of the evil demons work for the Burning Legion conquer this world and then do the same over and over and over again for the rest of time, right?
Yes!
The fountain does contain ultra-distilled demon blood from this guy, Manneroth, which basically turns any orc who drinks it into a Krork. And if you don't know what a Krork is, congratulations, you are officially way cooler than I am. And also, we do become red, so I guess we should be faster. Right? But while we do kinda become the minions of the Burning Legion, we do turn the Chernobyl goat into a pancake without breaking too much of a sweat. So with the demigod defeated, we once again take control of Thrall, who now has to use the Zeppelins we got earlier to best our worst enemy so far. The terrain. Oh, you cowards think a literal mountain is gonna protect you from me? Fuck, we just lost our entire army. God damn it. We do eventually make our way to the top, and when we do, it turns out that the humans, under the command of none other than Jaina Proudmoore, the sorceress from the human campaign, also wants access to the Oracle. So now it's a race through a dungeon, straight out of Dungeons and Dragons, where we have to fight our way through everything from humans disguised as sheep.
He's fairly bright for an orc.
Wow, why am I not surprised to hear casual racism from an high elf to literal hordes of undead pigmen? Just give me the thing. Fucking pigmen. Fucking just die. Die! When we do make it to the Oracle, it turns out that he was the Birdman from the beginning of the game, and that we now have to team up with the humans to defeat the Burning Legion. But first, we need to put Grom into an extensive detox consisting of kale and other green things so he can return to his natural color again. So we have to fight our way through hordes of chaos-infused ex-Horde members so we can capture him in a soul gem like he's some kind of angry red Pokemon. J9 humans do help a bit, but it's more of the "don't worry, Mr. President, I'll take a bullet for you" kind of help. But instead of wearing a suit, the president is wearing power armor, so you just played yourself. But hey, I'm not gonna turn down a good meat shield if I don't have to. With Grom purged from the demon's influence, we are once again rewarded with one of the coolest cutscenes ever made.
The boy believed you could be saved, but he didn't know what burns within your soul. Within your heart, you know we are the same.
With that, we begin the fourth and final campaign, the Night Elves. And I'm not gonna lie, I did and still find their campaign screen strangely captivating. Okay, so our forest have just been invaded by a mix of pink skins and green skins, and it is up to us, High Priestess Tyrande, to restore balance by driving the invaders before us so we can hear the lamentations of their women. Everybody gangsta until the trees start walking and bash your goddamn skulls in. But as we're wiping out the invaders of our lands, the Burning Legion and their Scourge goons attack. And now we have to try to escape, but unfortunately we get cornered in the forest somewhere. And it turns out that the Legion has been here before, about 10,000 years ago, and they are pissed.
Archimond, after 10,000 years, how is it possible?
Thankfully, we possess the superpower of standing very, very still.
Fools! Let her slip away! Find her, damn you! Find her and kill her.
So, with our friends dead, we begin the obligatory stealth section of the game. Using our amazing powers of standing still, we have to sneak past gigantic dragon demons so we can wake up our boyfriend Furion from his 1,000-year Ganya stupor, which is easier said than done. Because to do it, we need to blow the Horn of Cenarius, which might be protected by the ghosts of Drugbenders past. And we also need to do it before the horde of undead cut down the forest protecting his Kush cabin and violently put an end to his life. Having slain the last guardian and blown the horn, Furion is awoken from his drug-addled sleep and he is pissed.
The horn has sounded, and I have come, as promised. I smell the stench of decay and corruption in our land. That angers me greatly.
Having calmed down a little after getting the forest to turn the undead into fertilizer, we now have to find all of his stoner friends who aided in the defeat of the Legion 10,000 years ago, which proved to be somewhat of a challenge, especially since half of the druids had returned to monkey, or bear in this case. Speaking of bears, during our search for the druids, we might have found a furball the size of a goddamn mountain. Oh fuck. Editor me, cut this part out and only show them the part where we won. Editor me, forget about the last thing I said. I beat him on the first try, so it's all good. And I did actually beat him on my first try, and the fact that I decided to show you this little bit of private commentary should not be taken as an admission that I was in fact killed by the BBG. Oh, and halfway through, we might have split the party so Tyrande can stage a prison break in which he kills guards loyal to the government for no reason whatsoever goddamn ever, in order to break out a war criminal who has been behind bars for the past 10,000 years. Illidan Stormrage, the brother of Furion, is a pretty cool guy, but since I despise Anti-Mage, who is based on him with all of my being, I fucking hate his guts. Moving on, while she was doing that, Furion gets to the middle of the cave, blows the horn and wakes up all of the druids. And when that is done, we take on the role of Illidan, who moments after having been released from prison after 10,000 years, picks a fight fight with none other than Arthas himself. Why am I not surprised? The man who has been in jail for 10,000 years instantly picks a fight with fucking Arthas. For fuck's sake. Anyway, Arthas convinces Illidan to steal the skull of Gul'dan, which is the artifact that is currently turning all of the forest pretty stinky. So we build up our base, kill a bunch of things, and then suicides our entire army 2 times into some demon portals, thinking that I could get ahead by destroying them. Here's the thing though, I couldn't.
Waiting on you.
So we destroy the base with a skull, eat it or something, and transform into this. Oh, cool! Demon boy! With our newfound powers, we go and beat up Tichondrius, who is currently defending the portals. Except that we don't, and we lose our army 2 more times. Shit! God damn it, and he's healing too, that motherfucker. Eventually we do succeed, and then we are banished from our homeland forever because we have turned into the very thing we swore to destroy. Even though we clearly have done what we were supposed to and brought balance to the force, which was mega unbalanced when there was like 100 gazillion thousand Jedi and only, I don't know, 1.5 Sith. Okay, rant over. Where was I? Right. Before the final mission, we make peace with the humans and the orcs on the behest of the Prophet. And together, we now have to protect the World Tree for 45 minutes while under constant attack from the Scourge and the Legion. If Archimonde breaks through our defenses and makes it to the tree, everything is lost. This world is doomed and we are all fucked. This mission is actually pretty hard, but our allies build their own units and we have access to 2 different mercenary camps and 3 gold mines. So I send my entire army and a bunch of mercenaries to the human base and start building up some towers to help with the defense. We fend off their first couple of waves without too much of a problem, and I come to the conclusion that building my own troops and sending them one after one down to help with the defense was horribly inefficient. So instead I would save up all of our money and buy mercenaries in bulk between waves. After 15 minutes, however, we don't manage to rebuild our towers and buy more mercenaries fast enough, and the human base is overrun and destroyed. Oh no, the humans are all dying. Oh, what a shame. Oh. So we fall back and we start fortifying the orc base instead. We don't change our tactics much, but we do start building our towers behind our lines and walk them forward between waves. And so we continue for 30 long ass fucking minutes. Wave after wave crash upon our walls, and time after time we throw them back thanks to Furion's wide area heal and Tyrande's wide area damage. Unfortunately, with 20 seconds left on the clock, Archimonde himself joins the fight and totally demolishes our forces. He smashes his way through our base and he reaches the World Tree. Our defenses have fallen, our soldiers are dead, and the ancient enemy is about to destroy the one thing granting the Night Elves their immortality. And everything seems lost. Until... The spirits of the forest decided that demons are cringe and they took a move out of the Japanese playbook. And like that, the mightiest demon around, the conqueror of innumerable worlds, was destroyed by kamikaze mosquitoes. And then everyone lived happily forever after. Well, at least until the expansion came out. But I won't be covering that in this video. So I would like to thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a great Christmas in case I don't get another video out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Just as the orcs, humans, and night elves discarded their old hatreds and stood united against a common foe, so did nature herself rise up to banish the shadow forever. As for me, I came back to ensure that there would be a future, to teach the world that it no longer needed guardians. The hope for future generations has always resided in mortal hands. And now that my task is done, I will take my place amongst the legends of the past.